Welcome to the channel. In today's lab, we're gonna configure interface features like IP on R1 or duplets or speed in switches interface. So we have 5 steps in the video lab and we're gonna start with R1. We complete R1 and then pass to the PCs and then to switch 1 and finally switch 2. So let's start. We open router 1 CLI and configure the hostname of R1. Okay, to do that we have to enter privileged mode and then move to global configuration mode, conf tip, and now change hostname R1. As you can see here, the display has changed to the new hostname R1. Then configure the appropriate IP address on R1. Okay, first let me check something. Do show IP interface brief. Okay, in R1 we have 4 interface. They don't have an IP yet, and the method is on set. And obviously, how we know they are administratively down. That is the default settings on Cisco device. So we have to enter to the interface mode. To that we enter interface gigabit 00, and here IP address. The IP address is 172.16.255.254, and the net mask is /16. So the first 16 are for the network and the other for the host portion. That's it. Then we have to manually configure the speed and duplex on interface connected to other networking device, not end host. Okay, so to do that, speed first. This is a gigabit Ethernet interface, so we are gonna use 1000 megabit per second. That is the maximum rate that is in traffic sent. Interface again, and now duplex full. We don't need to use half duplex because we are connected to a switch, not a hub. And now description to switch number 1. And finally, no shutdown. Okay, and you show IP interface brief. We have configured it, changed. Now it has an IP address, and the method was manual, and layer 2 and only layer 2 is down and layer 1 is up. I think in a real Cisco device both should be up. I think this is a error in packet tracer because I manually configured the speed, but it doesn't matter really. It's a simulator, so it's okay. And now to see, we can use show running config, and here you can see we change the host name and interface gigabit 00. Description, IP address, duplex full, speed 1000, and that's it. Then configure appropriate description of each. Disable interfaces which are not connected to other device. Oh, we don't use that, but we don't need because in a router they are disabled by default, so it's okay. We had already complete all the steps for R1, so we close it, and now we're going to PC, to the PCs. PC1 config the full gateway pre-configured, and then fast Ethernet 0. The IP address is 172.16.0.1, and that's it. PC1, PC2, it's the same. Config fast Ethernet 0, 72.16.0.2. Okay, PC3 config fast Ethernet 0, 170.16.0.3. It automatically put the subnet mask because this is a class B network. And then PC4, this is the last one, config fast Ethernet 0, 172.16.0.4. Well, that is for the PCs. And here it says that we only configure the speed and duplex on interface connected to other networking device, so we don't have to do that with the PC's interface. Now go to switch 1. Okay, SIF1 CLI, and let me see. First, enter to privilege exec mode, and then conf T to enter to the global configuration mode. Now we change the host name. Host name is W1. Okay, the step number 1 is complete. Let's move. Configure the appropriate IP address that is for R1, not for switch. Manually configure the speed and duplex of interface. Okay. First, let me see the interface. Show interface status. Okay, we have here our interface and the status connected, VLAN. We have also duplex and speed. This command only work in switches. That's why I don't use them in R1. Take in mind that. Okay. We have to configure gigabit 01 and gigabit 02 because both devices are connected to network devices. Okay, interface, but not here. Const interface range gigabit 0, 1 to 2. Okay, now speed 1000 because they are gigabit Ethernet, duplex full. Okay, and now description of. Okay, and now we can do description with this command because it's gonna put for all of them. So we're gonna enter, and now interface gigabit Ethernet 01 description to R1, and now interface gigabit 02, and now description to switch number 2, and we have to use other disable interface which are not yeah, disable interface, but we also have to configure this interface range fast Ethernet 0, 1 to 2. Description to end users. Okay, and now we are gonna disable that we haven't used. So exit interface range. Okay, we use gigabit 01, gigabit 02, and we use 01, a fast Ethernet 01, fast Ethernet. So, from here to here we don't use. Okay, fast 03 to fast 24, fast Ethernet 3 to 24. Interface range fast Ethernet 0, from where? From 3 to 24. And now we use description not in use, and then shut down. Okay, and again show interface status. Here we have fast 01, fast 02. Okay, to end users, status connect, and duplex auto, speed auto. We don't configure this manually. This is auto negotiation. And the next one, gigabit 01, gigabit 02 to R1 to switch to status connected, but then the switch to is not connected. This is also another error in packet tracer. This should be connected, but this is because of manually configure the speed. For example, here it shows A full. This A mean automatical, but we manually configure. It only should display full. Here the same, A1000. It should display only 1000. But you have to take in mind that it's not a really serious problem, but it's not like a real device. So I think we had already complete all for switch 1. Yes. Okay. Now close this and go to switch 2, our last device. CLI, with this to see, enable const hostname, switch number 2. Okay, we have here only one interface to gigabit 02, so interface gigabit 01, speed 1000, duplex full. Okay, description to switch number 1. That's it. Exit. Now interface range fast Ethernet 0, from where? From 1 to 2. Okay, description to end users. Why I don't manually configure speed and duplex in end users? Because end users could manage a lot of different speed, so it could cause problem. That's why it's better let them automatically using auto negotiation to calculate that and use the speed that they could. Okay, description to end users. Now exit, interface range. Now we have to disable what we are not using. Interface range fast Ethernet 0, from where? From 3 to 24. comma, gigabit 02. Okay, description, not in use, and shutdown. Ta-da. Okay, and show interface status. Here we are, 2 end users, duplex auto. Okay, that's how we want. And gigabit 02 not in use, disable. Okay, gigabit 01 to switch number 1 connected, and full and 1000. Well, that's all for the video. See you in the next one.